My girlfriend once made an online creep bleed from his own stupidity without threatening him, touching him, or breaking a single law. And the best part, he begged for more. If you've ever been harassed online, underestimated, or told just ignore it, hit subscribe right now. Like this video, drop a comment if you believe creeps deserve consequences, and buckle up because this is one of the earliest, messiest, most satisfying examples of internet justice you'll ever hear. This story starts in a time that feels prehistoric now. Late 1999, dial-up tones screaming through bedrooms, monitors humming with static. The early internet wasn't cute, it wasn't curated, it wasn't safe. It was the digital Wild West. No moderation, no accounts, no logs, no real names. You typed a nickname, hit enter, and you existed. Or you vanished. HTML-coded chat rooms were the center of everything. Anyone could say anything. And some people took that as an invitation to be monsters. There was a whisper function, an early version of DMs. You'd still type into the public chat, but only one person would see it. That feature was supposed to enable private conversations. Instead, it became a predator's playground. Girls and young women were constantly targeted. No images in chat, sure, but emails were exchanged, and suddenly inboxes were flooded with blurry, pixelated proof that some men thought harassment was a personality. There were no report buttons, no moderators, no bans. So we adapted. Communities formed organically like immune systems. Ours was called The Attic. It wasn't official. It wasn't fancy. It was a simple website with a member list, a warning board for known creeps, and early rules of netiquette. Membership wasn't granted by clicking join. You earned it by being known, trusted, and vouched for. If someone crossed a line, we didn't cry about it. We coordinated. One of our favorite tools was whisper flooding. You'd copy a wall of nonsense text and paste it into someone's whispers over and over. Hundreds of messages. Their screen would freeze. Their connection would choke. 95% of creeps logged out and never came back. But every now and then, there was one who slipped through. I was 20 at the time. I'd met my girlfriend through a real-life meetup organized by The Attic. People traveled across the country to meet face-to-face once or twice a year. We'd spend weekends at amusement parks, crashing on couches, laughing about usernames finally having faces. My girlfriend was legendary. She'd been there from the beginning. When creeps showed up, she didn't panic. She hunted. The standing joke was that she was more evil than the devil, not because she was cruel, but because she was creative. And then there was him. We'll call him Farmer Bob. Farmer Bob wasn't loud. He wasn't obviously gross. He played it slow, friendly, harmless. Somehow he got endorsed into the community before alarms went off. And then emails started appearing in our inbox. Younger members. Same pattern. Unwanted messages. Thinly veiled sexual comments. He wasn't aggressive. He was patient. That's what made him dangerous. My girlfriend and I decided to act. Instead of confronting him, she erased herself and became someone else. A new nickname. Naive. Curious. Slightly unsure. Exactly the type he preferred. He took the bait. At first, the conversations were boring, painfully so. He talked about himself nonstop. Slowly, he revealed details. He lived in a rural area, he claimed to own a cattle farm, said he was wealthy, loved to brag. But it didn't take long to notice something else. He was incredibly stupid. Not in a harmless way. In the way where confidence completely replaces intelligence. He bragged about wearing wooden shoes, claimed the females loved being intimate with him while he wore them. He said this unironically. Repeatedly, my girlfriend would glance at me while typing, eyebrows raised, silently asking, "Is this real?" It got better. She flirted just enough to keep him hooked. Then she escalated. She hinted that she might visit him, but only if he could get cocaine. Said it made her wild. Said it was a requirement. He panicked. Suddenly, the wealthy farm owner couldn't afford it. He dodged. He stalled. And then he slipped. He mentioned his parents would be out of town that weekend. Parents on his farm, the one he owned. I watched my girlfriend pause, grin slowly, and type, "Oh." That's when she went all in. She told him, completely straight-faced, that you could make a DIY alternative. 3 parts baking soda, 1 part vanilla sugar, same rush, better taste, cheaper. We expected the conversation to end instantly. Instead, he replied, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that, forgot." He thanked her. Said he'd make a batch immediately, promised to test it that night. Said he wanted it perfect before she booked her train ticket. We logged off, laughing, assuming he'd realize he was being mocked. 2 days later, an email arrived, all caps. "You made my nose bleed, you MFBCH. I had to go to a clinic." He was furious. accused her of tricking him, and here's where most stories would end. But not this one. Instead of backing off, we leaned in. She apologized, said he must have mixed it wrong, claimed she used it all the time for her side job, producing and starring in amateur spanking videos sold to European tourists. Was it ridiculous? Absolutely. Was it believable? Apparently. He demanded proof. So we made a trailer. Everyone involved was an adult, fully clothed, completely staged, absurdly fake. We filmed it on a grainy camera. Her younger brother and his friend volunteered because, frankly, we couldn't stop laughing. One pretended to be the star, wearing a wig. The other sat on the bed. A wooden spatula. Fake sound effects. Nonsense German shouting. The quality was atrocious, which ironically made it convincing. We sent it. Farmer Bob lost his mind. He begged to buy the full videos. We agreed. On one condition, he had to try the homemade cocaine again. We never heard from him after that. No more emails, no more whispers, no more reports. Whether he realized the truth, disappeared out of shame, or changed usernames, I don't know. But his trail went cold, and the community stayed safer. Years later, that old hard drive died. The trailer was lost. But the memory remains, and the lesson. The internet may have changed, but consequences still matter. Sometimes justice doesn't roar. Sometimes it lets stupidity do the damage. If you enjoyed this story, like the video, subscribe for more real-world internet revenge, and comment below, what's the most satisfying online justice you've ever seen?